Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Oleksandra Tomashevska, and today we will talk about dividends. How to pay dividends to business owner in Ukraine. Of course, when you start the business, you expect to get some profit, and of course, you expect to share the dividends to pay you off, right? Not only get your investments back, but also some profit. And of course, you have to understand that in Ukraine, this profit will be taxed. And the tax system and the tax rates will depend on many factors. For example, your status of the owner of the company. You can be personally the owner, like an individual, or you can establish the company of the company. So you have, for example, the company in US or Canada or whatever, and you open the business in Ukraine as a new structure abroad, but the owner is the company. So can be absolutely different tax rate in this case. And other thing is the different tax rate is used to different tax system in Ukraine. So your company can choose the taxation system, and the tax rate by dividends will be different. So let's clarify all this situation. First of all, if you have a regular company and you owe it like a private person, like an individual, so you have your company pays corporate income tax, right? Which is 18%, as we already described in our previous videos. So if you have net profit, and you pay dividends for the person as an owner, not a company, you will pay, company will pay instead of you 5% of private income tax and 1.5% of military fee, which is an exception. It's temporary fee because of the war in Ukraine. But still, so 5% plus 1.5, which is 6.5, and it's general system, general taxation in Ukraine. As an individual, your dividends are paid, so that's it, no more taxes. If you owe the company which use simplified tax system, it's not a corporate income tax, it is a single tax, we call it single tax. It's a percentage of income. You will pay a little more. You'll pay 9% of the individual of the private income tax, and of course 1.5% of military fee. So altogether is 10.5%. It is the rate of the dividends if you owe the company which use simplified tax system. So it's the difference between the taxation of your company. Well, if you owe the company as a company, if the official owner is another enterprise, there is no way to use simplified tax system. It is prohibited. It's strict restriction in tax law. You can do that, but it means your company in Ukraine pays regular corporate tax, and there are several steps to pay dividends in this case, because the owner of dividends, it's not a person, it's the company. First of all, you have to prepay the corporate income tax according to the amount of dividends you pay. For example, you want to pay $1 million dividends, you have to pay in advance the corporate income tax. It's 18% of this amount of dividends. Of course, it counts in future as a corporate income tax. It's just prepaid tax, but well, that's the system. We have to do that. So you pay this tax in advance, and it's not the dividend tax. Next step, you pay 15% tax on dividends for the foreign company, which is according to the tax code. The rule is if you have to pay the income from the Ukraine, and dividends, it's kind of passive income, percentage, royalty and dividends, and so the passive income from Ukraine, general rate is 15%, but we have to mention that if it is a convention of tax avoidance of double taxation, of course, the convention will be more specific. In this case, you probably won't pay anything, but general rule is 15%, the taxation on dividends on the payment to the foreign company. So again, 18% in advance the corporate tax, and 15% on the dividends for the international owner, for owner which is not a person, right, as a company. So it's like double. If you can avoid double taxation, of course, do that. But as a result, I want to summarize all this information. For now, it is prohibited to pay dividends abroad because of the war. We understand the Ukraine has a hard situation, economy situation, and to avoid the capital to leave the country, right? The government keeps this situation in strict rules. So the owners of business, they can be paid. Of course, if you need your dividends, you need your profit. You can be paid on an account in Ukrainian bank. It's possible you can open an account in Ukrainian bank specifically for investors and get your dividends on this account. Then you can probably use this account in different ways. For example, start new business in Ukraine, which is, trust me, which is very, very perspective. But next time we will talk about specific we have the specific zone without taxation, which calls Dia City, and we will describe in details how to use this specific non-taxation form, non-taxation area, and it's exactly for foreign investors, which is a very attractive system. See you soon. That was Oleksandra Tomashevska. Goodbye.